This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Harley Race.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
This is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to the October edition of MWF Superstar Zone. I'm Dan Mirade, unfortunately joined in PJ's corner as his professional set is being upgraded, Mr. John Cena Sr.
Always your pleasure, Mr. Mirade.
Well, you know we certainly have a lot to talk about on the heels of our 12th anniversary Big Bang Birthday Bash. Fans, after 12 years, we certainly owe you a great deal of thanks for being with us as the roller coaster adventure of the Millennium Wrestling Federation continues. But as you saw on the October MWF Cyberstars, it was mayhem. Jay Freddy's triumphant return from knee surgery, and then Todd Hansen with Cowboy Bob Orton against Antonio Thomas and John Cena Sr. in his corner with his little Eric Bischoff, Virgil, Cam Zagami. It was sickening that you bought Cowboy Bob Orton.
I didn't buy anybody. Ted DiBiase, a very close friend, another billionaire, said, everybody's got a price. I just happen to have the right price.
And how much did you pay Bob Orton to turn on Todd Hansen?
That's between Cowboy Bob Orton and John Cena Sr.
Well, Bob, you hated Bob Orton, and Bob Orton hated you. Yet another enemy you had here in the world of professional wrestling. What led to this kumbaya-like coming together of the two of you?
There's no kumbaya, Dan. It's just simply business. Business, business, business. Something I understand that you don't.
Well, it's a disgrace what happened to Todd. Todd has certainly worked his way back through numerous injuries himself, trying to get back to the MWF Undisputed Championship belt, and to hit that pothole, so to speak, in a tremendous encounter with Antonio Thomas, which everyone expected. It was Hansen's match, and you know it was Hansen's match.
Todd needs a haircut and a shave. Be a professional wrestler, not a Viking king. Don't go out there the new and improved. How many times have I heard this? New and improved soda pop, tobacco, new and improved baking products. Be who you are. It was a good match. There's no question about it. It's just that we won.
Well, and this coming from a man sitting in PJ's corner, but that's a different story for a different time. It's going to be a very interesting fall here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation. A new season has begun, and the Uprising comes away with the win to kick things off with Antonio Thomas with another W. He must be thinking championship gold.
All the Uprising is thinking all the championship gold.
Now, if I was to put together a match back when I was the EVP of Wrestling Operations for the Bash, instead of Carlito defending against Dylan Cage, if it was Carlito defending against Antonio Thomas, would you have gone through with this little suspension witch hunt that you went on?
Absolutely not. Nobody.
So you're proving that that was an inside job right there.
No, it wasn't an inside job.
It was an inside job.
Anybody who threatens me that I'm going to bleed in a public building, that I'm going to get injured or hurt, I don't care if it was the Pope. It would be canceled. So nobody threatens me.
So if we had Carlito signed to face Antonio Thomas and he threatened to make you bleed, you would have had Carlito suspended?
I still would have gone on the premise that I went on before. Carlito, pooh, you're done. I spit in the face of people who want to be cruel.
I think your nose just grew 6 inches, but that's a different story for a different time. Never mind, you also leading to the suspension of the night for the Warhawk Dylan Cage. You were so busy on business, you had your little Eric Bischoff Virgil make the announcement that Dylan was not allowed in Melrose on September the 21st, that he needed to be down in North Carolina or an MWF South business.
Dylan Cage and I have settled our differences. Dylan received a very, very handsome check for his non-appearance. So, Dylan, I think you're happy. I'm happy. We'll talk more about that later.
He was ready to make you bleed, too. As much as I'm not a big fan of Pocahontas down there, he was ready to create some violence, Indian style, if he was in Melrose when it came to you and your uprising. Your boy down in North Carolina is certainly an angry one.
You know what? Dylan knows that when you lose your temper, you lose your mind, you lose control, you say a lot of things you really shouldn't say. Dylan, when it comes right down to who's the boss, who holds your contract, who pays your bills, who helps you with the house you live in, who gets you where you are today, John Cena Sr. I forgive you, Dylan. It's okay. There'll be another time and another place for you to face Carlito.
And wrestling fans, it's certainly worth noting is the announcement was made on Facebook and Twitter before I had a chance to respond on my column on BostonWrestling.com. I've been demoted. Certainly not released from the MWF, as I'm obviously here. I have a talent contract to do commentary and be on MWF broadcasts through September of 2014, but I know I'm no longer responsible for what goes on in and out of the ring. That was the job that President Bear trusted me with back in March of 2012, thanks to a scumbag over in PJ's corner right now. I'm sure he led the way along with Linda Mirade for this demotion when I met with the MWF Board of Directors earlier in the week.
You should keep your mouth shut, Mirade. You still have a job. I could have wiped you right off the face of the earth. I allow you to continue doing commentary. I allow you to continue to be part of the MWF.
Who else is going to do the commentary? The Jackal's throat was stepped on by Dylan Cage when he was attacked at Kelly's parking lot. His shrimp dinner destroyed to shreds along with him. He's never been 100% again.
Well, we're training Hansagami to be commentator. I could train anybody to be a commentator.
Let me tell you something. He is a joke and an embarrassment, even to you, which is saying something. The only reason I think you want him around is because you want to try and make a piece out of the hair that he has for the wintertime to keep your head nice and warm.
Well, Mr. Zagami will be learning commentary, and who knows? If I get tired of Zagami, I'll let him go too. Because Johnny Fabulous has the blonde. Johnny Fabulous has got what he needs. I have the right arm of the MWF. I've got Linda Mirade. And sooner or later, Danny boy, I tell you what, you might not even be on commentary. You might not even be part of the MWF anymore.
You have to remember, Johnny, that I do have some company stock. I only created this organization that you think you want to try and take over yet again.
Everybody's got a price, Mirade. Stock is cheap. Stock is cheap.
Just like your talk is cheap.
I'll name your price.
What I want to know is, forget about my price. I have no interest in selling anything to you other than a plane ticket one way to never come back. Why do you find the need to have this little Virgil tag along with you? You don't think that's an embarrassment to you? Just because I kind of gave him the cold shoulder when I was in the middle of trying to put together a great fan experience at the birthday bash on September the 21st?
Hansagami has a position. Whether that position continues to be useful to me, everybody needs a mole. Everybody needs a source. Everybody needs a squeaker. Is that the word to use? As long as Mr. Zagami is of value to me, Mr. Zagami will remain gainfully employed.
If I sign Cam Zagami to a contract here in the MWF, when I had that capability, you would have crucified me.
I wouldn't have crucified you. It's just one more talent that you would have signed that the uprising would have destroyed. You want him? I'll tell you what, Dan. You bring out the contract, I'll sign it. You've got Hansagami.
You want to sign away your Virgil already?
I've got a blonde. I've got somebody who's in control. Hansagami is like Virgil. Virgil was only useful as long as Ted DiBiase had a job for him. And you know what, Hans? I hate to say it, I really do, but you may have just outlived your usefulness.
And he's only been around a month. How kind of you. And you have all the athletes in the MWF roster that want to destroy the kid. And I hope they do, because he aligned himself with you for whatever you decided to pay him off with.
I paid him off with cash, Dan, unlike
know.
Your rubber checks. I use cash. And you know what, Hans? When I took you on, you and I both had an agreement. You would remain as long as I needed you for gainful employment. Now, again, maybe, just maybe, we've reached the point of no return.
Well, and this is someone that you want to have all kinds of dirty work done for you with. I'm not going to buy that. But I mean, you're talking about from the top of the roster to the bottom of the roster, everyone hates him. I mean, even from I'm sure MWF Undisputed Champion Carlito would love a piece of him, Bobby Lashley and so on. Then you look towards some of the athletes right now that aren't in championship contention, like a Bo Douglas or a Freight Train Dan. Everyone would love to get their hands on the little weasel and pound him.
Well, now that I'm in charge of talent, or I've got more say in what happens, maybe they will have a chance to get their hands on Mr. Hans Sagami. And he better do what needs to be done, or just like that other loser that cost me money fighting Eddie Edwards, you'll find yourself in the unemployment line too, Sagami.
Who's the loser that fought Eddie Edwards?
Loser leaves town.
Oh, young Julian, how soon we forget. You didn't even want to name him by name. Poor Julian Starr, a man with so much talent and potential, and you fed him to the wolves, no pun intended. I had Eddie Edwards, ate him for lunch, and it was bye-bye Julian, someone that really could have offered a lot to the Millennium Wrestling Federation and the sport of professional wrestling. But I want to know, Johnny, one of my aides here in the studio was telling me earlier in the green room, you were even having more disrespectful comments made about Bo Douglas, a multi-time tag team champion, a man that you tried to buy at one point when he teamed with Todd Hansen and then set out to destroy. You cut his hair at an MWF live event and threw it all over the crowd, a man you've humiliated. Why do you have such an issue with Bo?
Bo Douglas. Bo Douglas, a Dan Mirade person. Every single time I asked you to come to work for me, I can't do that to Dan. Dan's a respectable individual. Dan's a great guy. Dan helped get me where I am today. Dan helped you get beat in less than 1 minute at the Big Bang Birthday Bash. You were made to look like a fool. And you still want to be loyal to Dan Mirade? Douglas, wake up! You're nothing but a jobber now. A jobber! Jobber! You spend a lot of time looking at the lights. You and Job Holly, Pete Doherty. Wake up! The offer's on the table.
How disrespectful can you be? I heard you were back there calling him the biggest groveler in professional wrestling.
Bo Douglas has kissed everybody's toes, except he is still on the losing side. Look what happened with Hans Sagami and you at the Big Bang Birthday Bash. You didn't last 35 seconds in the ring. Douglas, you want to be somebody. I said it before, and I'll say it again. You want to be a winner? You want to be a champion? You come to John Cena, Cena's side. Otherwise, you stick with Dan Mirade and not John Cena Sr., and you're with a bunch of losers. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The maker of champions, the man who will soon own and take over the MWF North.
So you're telling me that a man that you claimed just moments ago could take up residency in the Sanford & Son truck is someone that you now want to buy and add to your stable. You thought so little of him then. Now you want to bring Bo Douglas into the uprising.
Bo Douglas can be useful, very, very useful.
In what way?
To John
In
Cena
what way?
Sr. He's a seasoned professional. He has his ear to the ground. And with a little more training, a little more John Cena Sr. attitude, I will make Bo Douglas a killing machine.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but do you still feel he's the biggest groveler in professional wrestling?
He just proved to me at the Big Bang Birthday Bash that he aligned himself with the wrong person. He kissed your, whatever you want to call it, and look what it cost him.
No, I want to hear you say it on camera. Is he the biggest groveler in professional wrestling? Put your money where your mouth is. You want to talk
I wouldn't
behind
say Bo
his back
Douglas
about
is a
it.
groveler.
You said
I
it,
would
you
say
said it in the
Bo
green
Douglas
room a little while ago that he was the biggest groveler in professional wrestling. Are you trying to take those words back now? Is he a groveler or is he not a groveler?
Bo Douglas needs to learn a lesson. And you
Is
get
he
nothing.
a groveler? You said he
You
was.
get nothing, Douglas, by groveling, by kissing butt, by trying to be accepted by the losing team. Dan Mirade has found that out. He's no longer Executive Vice President of Talent Relations. He's commentary. And if I have anything else to do with it, he'll be cleaning toilets. So, Douglas, you groveled, you lost. You want to win? Come to my side. Come to John Cena
Come to John Cena
side.
Sr.'s side. As the uncivil war continues between MWF North and South, we have the MWF Night of Champions, a nightmare on Ionia Street to look forward to. Saturday night, November the 9th. You'll be down there, unfortunately. The MWF Southern Champion, Warhawk Dylan Cage, will be in action, as well as the return of the Boogeyman live at the Fairmont, North Carolina Middle School, all to help the South Robeson Rescue Squad. They're a great group of folks down there. Unfortunately, you have to be there.
They love me. They love me in North Carolina. You know what? I am the representative of Warhawk Dylan Cage. We've fought all kinds of competitors. We are still the champions down there. Warhawk Dylan Cage is an outstanding warrior. He's a hero. Now you want to bring in the Boogeyman, another great guy, another great person. Look, it's going to be a hell of a night, Dan. I'm sorry you're going to miss it.
Oh, well, I just may be down in North Carolina for this one. You know, I could use a little R&R after all the work I put into the Big Bang Birthday Bash, but you have all this praise for Dylan Cage now, which you didn't a few short weeks ago. I want to hear from Dylan that the peace pipe has been smoked, so to speak, between the two of you.
Anytime you want to call Dylan Cage, anytime you want to speak to Warhawk Dylan Cage, you go right ahead. I'm loved down there. I'm hated by Miss Parsimony and her Joe, whatever his name is.
Joey Sylvia.
They hate me because I've defeated them with Dylan Cage several times out. She hates me because I stole a kiss and shut her up. Let me tell you something, Dan Mirade. If you want to see professional wrestling as it should be done, with professional wrestlers that wrestle and know the game, MWF South, November the 9th, that's the place to be.
Well, I'd like to see the Boogeyman get his hands on you and see some of those worms crawl through your piece.
That, my friend, will never happen. The Boogeyman may scare little kids. The Boogeyman may scare some fans. But I'll tell you what, Boogeyman, down there I'm a nice guy. They love me. But I'll say this to you, Boogeyman, and you listen well. You may hide in the shadows, come out in the dark, eat those worms and try to get other people to eat them. You even make a threat like that to me. You won't be on the card anymore. I'll have you suspended too.
Well, you're going to suspend the Boogeyman. Aren't you Captain Tough Guy over there? We'll have to sign you up for the UFC over there.
Dan, the power I possess, the money I possess, the ability I possess. Boogeyman, I've got nothing but respect for you, my friend. You and I have worked well together before, and I'm sure we'll work well together this time. It might just be Rubber Gums over there shooting his mouth off about, you're going to eat worms. It's going to go through. And I still don't know what he's talking about because I tell you what, I go for a haircut every week. There's no way
Every week you go for a
no
haircut.
way it comes off. I'm telling you right now, someday, Mirade, you can come over to this side, over in the studio. I'll let you pull and yank, and guess what? It hurts. So, you know, it's not like your fake beard. And you're jealous. You're jealous. Look in the mirror, cue ball. You're how old? 30 years old? And you look like you're 95.
I wish I was 30 years old.
You need to get some hair, get some class, dress up, be somebody instead of, oh, let's see, Dan Mirade, commentator?
Well, and then the Saturday after the Uncivil War, the Night of Champions, the Nightmare on Ionia Street down in Fairmont, North Carolina. We're back right up here in Boston, and what a happening it's going to be. Mighty Wrestling Federation's holiday extravaganza to try and make sure that Santa Claus's GPS reaches all the kids on his good list. It's MWF Holiday Headlocks, your chance to meet, greet, and even eat with the legends from the world-famous entertainment dining complex Kowloon on Route 1 in Saugus.
No better food, no better place. The Kowloon is John Cena Sr. and John Cena Jr.'s favorite place to get that good Oriental food. They don't come any better. The Wong family is a fantastic house.
Oriental food. Is that what it's called now?
What do you want me to call it? Middle, what do you want me to call it?
Chinese food, like
How
most
about
people
Cantonese?
would.
There are several different types of food on that menu. You have sushi. You have Cantonese. You have Thai food.
You
Look,
call Bo Douglas a groveler. How many times have you gone up to Kowloon looking for a free meal?
I don't get free meals. I pay for every meal I have.
You're worse than Reno Chastain when it comes
Unlike
to
you,
a free
Dan
meal.
Mirade, who's a guy that cries a lot, I go up there with cash, money, credit card. I pay the bill. I leave happy. I leave full. But on November 16th, I will be there. You've asked me to attend. I'll tell you what, I'll bury the hatchet. It's for a good cause. It's to make sure that these kids have a good Christmas. And Fabo Pop will be there too. Every bottle will be autographed. Come on down for $2. Get yourself some of the best pop in the business. Get your own pop with Fabo Pop.
Well, I understand that Viscera needed quite a bit of Pepto-Bismol the night of the Big Bang birthday bash. I don't know if he sampled any of your soda.
You upset him. His stomach was upset. He told me. He said, that guy's giving me ulcers. The guy with the cane's giving me ulcers. I said, why? What? Flatten him like a pancake. Flatten him. But I don't know. It must be something you said or did.
Well, Johnny, once again, it's always been a pleasure to have you here. The beginning stages for the planning of Soul Survivor 10 is in the works. I'm not as privy as much to it as I would be, where I would be trying to put the card together, but are you going to give us any hints? Where I know you're in up the board of directors, you know what constantly, so far up you could see out of their mouths.
I have some big plans. I have big plans coming up, things I intend to do. I intend to bring in some female wrestlers. I intend to bring in some good names. Not that there weren't good names before. I also intend to have a price surprise for all the MWF fans. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, the MWF, unlike you, Dan, might become more regular. Just maybe.
What does that mean?
Well, you know what, Dan? What do you always say? Now, that's another story for another time. Let's just hang it out there with the little surprises I've talked about. And as time goes on, I'll release more about the big plans John Cena Sr. and Fabo Pop have for the MWF. Because whether you like it or not, Danny boy, Fabo Pop is and will continue to be the official sponsor of the MWF.
So it's Fabo Pop presents Soul Survivor 10, in other words.
You got it. You got it. And maybe, I just might have a ton of those cigars. So it'll be Fabo Pop and Two Guys Smoke Shop Seabrook. Those fabulous 60 ring, $25 cigars present. I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right, well, there's a lot to be said about Soul Survivor, much more to be said about the MWF's return to North Carolina, and especially the big one, Saturday, November the 16th, from Kowloon. I can't wait to be at Kowloon live. We've wanted to do something there for so long, and this is a chance again for you to meet, greet, and even eat with the superstars that are going to be appearing. We're going to have announcements about that soon. I wish I could tell you more, but again, I am now out of the loop due to my demotion. I just want to make it clear that I'm not gone from the MWF. I just no longer hold my former professional title.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, Johnny, any final thoughts as we close out this month? I know it's Halloween. That face of yours in your hair, I don't know if that's a Halloween costume or not. You deny it, but any final thoughts here on the Superstar Zone?
All I can say is it's Halloween. And at Halloween, there's always trick or treat. And you, Danny boy, keep your eyes open. Keep your ears clean. Will you get a trick or will you get a treat? I will say this to all the wrestling fans of the MWF. You have my word. No, I damn well guarantee that you will have bigger, better wrestling shows than you've ever seen before. So, John Cena Sr., from me to you, for the MWF fans, it'll be a treat. For you, Mirade, might just be a trick.
Well, that coming from the man that attends Bohemian Grove, and a lot that was written about in Franklin D. Churchill's journals. Apparently those remain a different story for a different time as well. Fans, until we speak again, we're going to hear from the Boogeyman to make sure that it is a safe and happy Halloween for all our junior MWF fans out there. Be well until next time.
I'm the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to get you.
Happy Halloween. I'm the Boogeyman. You have yet to be seen. Trick or treat.
Wrestling fans, the action and excitement of the Millennium Wrestling Federation returns to the great state of North Carolina Saturday, November the 9th at the Fairmont, North Carolina Middle School. It's MWF Night of Champions, a nightmare on Ionia Street. You will see live and in person former WWE superstar, the wild and unpredictable Boogeyman. The man you just saw wishing all of our great fans a happy Halloween. What about MWF Southern Heavyweight Champion Warhawk Dylan Cage? He'll be defending the championship, and his former ally that's now become nemesis, MWF South President John Cena Sleesna. Earlier tonight, Johnny made it sound like the two have made peace, but Dylan Cage has not stated that the peace pipe has been smoked. It's going to be a great night for a great endeavor. The South Robeson Rescue Squad does a great deal of work for the folks in the area. They're nice people. Everyone here in the Boston area is looking forward to heading down to North Carolina this November. And if that wasn't enough, what about the Millennium Wrestling Federation's Christmas Toy Drive Extravaganza Holiday Headlocks, Saturday, November the 16th, from the Entertainment and Dining Complex of New England, that being Kowloon, Route 1 North in Saugus, Massachusetts. Fans, you will be able to eat, meet, and greet the superstars. There'll be an autograph photo fan fest, charity auctions and raffles. You can eat with the superstars. There'll be a no-holds-barred question and answer session. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've never done anything like this before. A very intimate setting upstairs at Kowloon. It's not going to be in the main restaurant itself. The lineup, oh, it's getting good, fans. We want to reveal it all at once to make it one big celebration and ticket on sale. I can tell you, you are not going to want to miss this one. The Millennium Wrestling Federation wants to make sure that Santa Claus's GPS is fully loaded and he reaches every kid who's on the good list this holiday season. It's going to be a special night. We're going to have some great giveaways, and of course the interaction with the superstars will be like never before. We're running out of time this month on the MWF Superstar Zone. Make sure you check out Cyberstars. BostonWrestling.com is a place to be. Don't miss a day.